So Aaron and I, over the course of the year, with doing the Chicago initiative, we started out as Nicole and Aaron, and I think Connie called us Naren. I think you combined our names together, so I'm going to do this for both of us. So yesterday when I was on the panel, I sort of let something slip out, and I talked about this thing called the Cities of Learning, and I was told it was too early. So now is the time, the opportunity to do it. So when we started off last year and we did the Chicago Summer Learning Initiative, we only thought about it, I think, really trying to tackle the summer last year. There were no big visions around even doing it again beyond that particular summer. But what happened, I think, over the success and how it got covered a little bit, some in media, other cities started, calling into MacArthur, into the mayor's office and saying, hey, what is that you're doing there? We want to understand some about it. From Columbus, Sean, who I know is here, they came and saw it. And I think what happened after we finally got through the summer, there was a conversation of, should we just keep this in Chicago, or should we begin a conversation with cities across the country to see if we can sort of form a coalition to sort of learn from each other and begin to have cities of learning that take place all over. And so what happened, I think, in December, there was a meeting where cities, multiple cities, were invited to come to the conversation to bring at least combination of community partners, people in the mayor's office, and also, funders, because all of this needs funding to get started, to come and have a conversation. And I think out of that meeting was a decision to say many cities wanted to do their own city of learning. And I think one big thing that also came, which we're going to talk about in a second, is we could have either done this coalition as everyone just having conversations and then everyone going off and doing their own thing. But we wanted to say, we think there's an opportunity here to be collaborative and to try to build together and to learn and build off of the work that each other is doing. So given that, Mozilla has taken a strong lead in doing the infrastructure, we said, well, why don't we think about taking the infrastructure to a next level? And so we're going to announce today the first two things, the City of Learning Initiative, that there's at least 9 cities that have agreed to engage and continue the conversation, and they're on their own going to announce whether they're when on the pipeline they're going to actually do an initiative. But some of those cities that at least have rolled up the sleeves to begin to engage are LA, Pittsburgh, Providence, Tucson. I don't have kids, Connie, so I should be able to name all of these cities. Tacoma, St. Paul, Aaron, help me out here. Philadelphia, Columbus, I think that's 9. But I know there's Baltimore's here. They have an interest. So Chicago, of course. Chicago's going to continue, right? So these are just cities, some big. New York is thinking about big and small, who are all in their own way going to create their own city of learning. But we also, Chris is going to come up here from Mozilla, is going to join me, because we're also really going to try to now build some technologies and tools that are going to enable us all to learn together so that we can learn from what each other is doing, but also we can share. We can share, like, all of the projects and badges that Chicago have done, we should be able to share with others. So Chris is going to take it and tell us a little more around the technical.
Right, so it turns out that to issue badges, you need to use computers. And so during the course of the Chicago project, we built a lot of stuff. And it was built kind of organically as we discovered we needed something. And it wasn't easy. And we wouldn't... And we don't want that pain to be felt by other cities as they go into the programs. So we took the tools we built for Chicago, we refined them, and we gave it a logo and a name called Badge Kit. And Emily has stickers, if you want a sticker for your laptop that says Badge Kit. So, I mean, it's infrastructure, it's the mechanical pieces of issuing a badge, but it's also the ability to share the learning that we did outside of the technical world, like Carla, Sunny, a lot of people, and DYN. Everybody spent a lot of time building the opportunities for kids to learn. So we want to take that and make it a package that other people can use. So we're building features into the tool that let cities collaborate, let cities share programs, and not have to start from scratch every time. You get basically a package inside of BadgeKit that lets you just get started fast. But then in addition, every city's different, so we couldn't do a one-size-fits-all sort of deal. So, you know, through technical wizardry, we're building a system that's flexible enough that people can customize it to their city, put their special sauce on it. So, BadgeKit, get a sticker. It's going to be great. And also, Keely's here to talk a little bit about some of the pathways and extra stuff as part of the package.
So to just echo and build on the wizardry, so there's the technical components, and we want to make sure that we can have kind of better out-of-the-box, customizable solutions to make this work easier for folk, but also realizing there's a lot of content that goes into this. So we're also working with a number of folks, so Digital Youth Network, Mozilla, Achievery, and of course the Badge Alliance, to work on sets of pathways and badges that can be shared across cities. So as Chicago makes progress, as LA, as other cities make progress, this can actually build this library of resources that can actually flow through any of these pipelines locally in these cities. So you have the ability to localize, as Chris talked about, but then also you have the ability to build on the work that's happening nationally elsewhere. And then also we want to make sure that there's direct support. So we'll have a train-the-trainer model for each city. So we'll have a team of folk that can actually work with your team on the ground who will be the lead. So if you have 3 or 4 people who might be the lead in your city to implement this, we'll actually send a team of experienced folk out to do on-the-ground trainings and webinars as well. So we'll help you design the badges, connect to existing programs on the ground to be able to see this through end to end. And so we're now looking to, hopefully, this will be available to all spring 2014, and looking forward to get more cities signed up.